Hey YouTube, Awesome Rider here. This is going to be my review for the second episode of Kamen Rider Daima. I did it again! Hey YouTube, Awesome Rider here. This is going to be my second review for Kamen... Hey YouTube, Awesome Rider here. This is going to be my second episode review for Dragon Ball Daima. Going to continue coverage on this just for a little bit. I do plan on trying to do at least a few more Dragon Ball videos, and I'll cover this for around probably the first 5 episodes and then kind of gauge interest from there and see how that goes. But anyway, this was overall a much more fun episode than last week. Not that I disliked last week, but it was a lot of groundwork laying, a lot of recapping, and just when we got to the kind of hook of the series, you ended off. I do kind of wish we would have had a 2-episode premiere, because this definitely felt like a part 2, and it felt like an all-around more complete setup for the overall premise and just a little bit more exciting, and you get a little bit more taste of the fun and unique aspects of the premise here with the characters getting used to their age. And that was probably the best part about the episode. I mean, it did lay the groundwork of the plot. We got to meet our new character who comes from the demon realm that whisks our characters away and kind of clarifies things for them. You know, they generally figured things out, like somebody did something to us and they took Dende, but then this guy's like, let me come back in and tell you the rest of the exposition, and he explains like who the demon guy is, and he comes from someone from like the 3rd demon realm or the 3rd demon king or something, and so they're a little bit suspicious of him. So I'll be interested to see, like, does he have nefarious motives, or is it going to be a situation where it's misunderstood? I mean, I'm sure there's something going on there. They wouldn't have the characters being kind of suspicious of him for no reason, but it'll be interesting to see how that shakes out. And that is one of my more favorite things about the story too, outside of the premise of them being young, is I do love the mythology expansion with these characters, and even little details we learn, like Supreme Kai's ship that he used to get to this realm in the first place. You know, they set that up because they need to repair it so they can get more characters there. At first they're like, okay, we have the ship and we need to repair it in 10 days. And then new guy comes in, he's like, oh, I got a ship. I'm like, okay, then what's the point of the repair thing? And then you find out that they can only take a certain amount of people. So we have Goku, Supreme Kai, and our new character heading off, and Vegeta and others will be joining later. But yeah, overall, just really do like the expansion of that mythology. We get a little bit more clarification about stuff from the demon world. One thing I found interesting about that ties back to last week, like a reaction to last week. You know, there was a lot of discussion of re-retcons and stuff with the Patora earrings and stuff like that, which is something I want to touch on at the very end in regards to Daima's place in the continuity, just some random thoughts, like larger than just the episode. But anyway, there was like that talk about the Namekians being from the demon world, because like originally, you know, Piccolo was the demon king at the end of Dragon Ball, and then we find out he's from Namek in the series, and a lot of people were happy that they reestablished them as demons, which I don't have a problem with that. It doesn't anger me or anything, but I'll be honest, I actually did like the explanation that they weren't really demons, they were just aliens from a different planet. I just thought it was kind of funny that Piccolo, whoever, assumed that they were a demon, but they actually came from a race that, again, I'm a big Dragon Ball fan, but I don't do a deep dive into mythology, so I could be off base here, but especially since the Namekian people are like more gentle, I just found that to be funny, and I liked that lore beat that they were actually aliens. But again, them changing it back so they're from the demon realm doesn't bother me at all. In fact, it is kind of interesting to have this race from a demon realm populate then a different planet and start a whole new legacy. But anyway, I thought I would bring that up a little bit. But the best part of the episode was just seeing the characters kind of adjust to their age. You know, we have them like getting used to their powers and abilities. Like Goku isn't able to fly right. Initially, I thought it was going to be because like his body was where it was at when he was younger, so he didn't know how to fly yet, but it's more about he doesn't remember the balance. I'll be interested to see how all that shakes out in regards to their powers, because obviously from the trailers and the openings, we see that they'll go Super Saiyan, and that was something that happened in GT as well, but I'll be curious to see like what challenges they face in regards to their strength level, because obviously the reason that this guy turned them back was so they wouldn't be so strong, but it's like, well, how weak are they? You know, how are they going to get up to new levels? Will we get any new forms? I'll be interested to see that. And I also really like that they use that for an explanation as to why Goku needed Nimbus, even getting the power pole back, because he's having a hard time like with his reach. I honestly thought that was a little bit weird, but I am glad they explained that. Not that them including that would have bothered me, because obviously they would want to include it just for the nostalgia of young Goku reminding you of early Dragon Ball, so I wouldn't have been like, I demand an explanation, but I do like that they took the time to explain it. I honestly would have been fine with the power pole explanation just being that he was nostalgic riding Nimbus around and needed it, but I guess the reach thing kind of works too. It's just a little bit of an added side effect from that. But probably the most fun was seeing some of the other young characters. You know, obviously we knew pretty much all of the main and secondary cast was being turned turned into kids, but I didn't really think about that all that much. I really was thinking about, because we've seen young Goku before, and I was like, okay, young Vegeta's going to be kind of interesting, and Piccolo and whoever else is going to be fighting, but I didn't think about everybody else and their designs. Like, because I only watched the first trailer, I think, once, I wasn't like doing a deep dive for every clip or frame I could see, so I kind of forgot about all the characters that would be turning young. Like, seeing a young Hercule was a lot of fun. Chi-Chi's dad I didn't think about at all. I forgot his name. King Yanma, is it? And probably the most fun was Master Roshi. Young Master Roshi was a lot of fun. Although obviously, with the exception of him not having the monk dots, he just looks like Krillin with glasses. He also looks like a member of the Squirtle Squad. And it definitely had me hoping that once we get everybody in the Demon Realm, we still flash back to Earth occasionally, just for some of the fun antics of the other characters, because I think this episode showed me, like, one of the unique things about that premise is, like, obviously we're going to get some classic Dragon Ball feeling adventures and some cool fighting of them, some cool fighting stories of them trying to figure out their power as kids, but I think it'd be fun to just flash to the slice of life funny adventures of the young Dragon Ball characters that are stuck back on Earth. So I do hope we stick with that. But yeah, as far as the episode goes, I overall really did enjoy it. I'm, in a big Dragon Ball mood right now, like a lot of people, so I'm enjoying it extra because of that, and I'm eager to see where the series goes. Now, there was something interesting I just wanted to talk about in regards to the continuity of it, because I was talking last week about the Patora retcon or whatever, and honestly both explanations can coexist. I don't think it necessarily contradicts each other in a way, and outside of them having to refuse them if they line it back up with Super. But it brought up an interesting conversation about canon, and that's one thing I talked about, how I'm a pretty big Dragon Ball fan, but I don't dive into the fandom a lot because, to be fair, I don't really want to get into any fandoms anymore because they've all become so toxic. But this just reminded me, that is one of the things that annoys me whenever I am in a Dragon Ball mood, is this fandom is so just about canon. Like, it's like one of those fandoms that argues about it so much, and it's stupid. Like, because this franchise has so many branches, because you have like the main manga, and then you have the anime, you have GT, you have Super, you have all the movies, and this is one of those conversations where everyone's like, it's not canon! And they talk about it like anything that's not canon is a fake story. And that annoys me because I get annoyed when fandoms use that to sort of discredit things they don't like. And I bring that up because someone had an interesting comment last week when I was talking about, are they going to try to line this back up with Super? And they said you can just view it like a choose-your-own-adventure. And I kind of like that. I will be curious to see if this ends on a note where you can fit it in between Super, or there is an attempt to. They did mention the universes last week. Or if it will just be a choose-your-own-adventure, which I'm totally fine with. I'm totally fine with reading or watching Z and having the option of Super, GT, or Daima. I think that's a good way to look at it, because for me, the movies, GT, Super, the manga, the anime, it's all canon. It's just like a multiverse. Not that they're going to do Crisis on Infinite Dragon Ball, although I think that Dragon Ball Hero series does that, but it's just like, the debate is just so stupid, especially in a franchise as messy as this. For me personally, I kind of view it the same way I view Doctor Who mythology and stories, where I'm very interested in the stories and mythology, but I'm kind of okay with it being a bit messy, and I'm not like, so, I don't have a power pole up my ass about canon. But anyways, I just wanted to talk about that because I think it was interesting. I'm going to kind of view it right now like a choose-your-own-adventure and just be interested to see whether they deviate so it is like a different timeline and they can go crazy with maybe some new power-ups, or if they will try to slot it in between Super, because it could very easily fit there right now. Like, they haven't done anything major or anything like that. Anyways, guys, what did you think of the second episode? Did you have a little bit more fun than the first now that we've gotten to see the younger versions of the characters in action? Let me know in the comments as always. Until next time, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and climb the steps and ring that bell to get notifications for my videos. Dawson Ryder, signing out.